guys, Franchise here with Franchise80s.com. Today is a very special episode of the Franchise80s podcast because we finally get to have a live guest joining me here in a little while on my podcast, rather than me having to call in or call Darth Falcon or call Bompa from Bompa's Collectibles or call one of my many great guests that I have and speak to them over the phone. I get to have somebody live here next to me to be able to talk to on my podcast for the first time since all this pandemic coronavirus COVID-19 stuff has broken out. The man that I will be having a discussion with, and it's not really a discussion, what I'm going to be doing is asking him my Franchise 5 questions. Oh, welcome, Franchise. Take a seat.
Okay.
Take a seat. Thank you. Go ahead and put the headphones on there. Okay.
Right.
Thank you for joining me on my podcast today.
Well, you want me to? Okay.
I'm the Franchise from the future. I can't tell you exactly where I've come from, but I can tell you that don't worry, this will all end very soon, this whole COVID-19 coronavirus epidemic. Shortly after we have the big quake. You haven't had that yet, right? No, okay. Well, shortly after that, things start to calm down a little bit. And what are your top 3 favorite movies of all time? Okay, my top 3 favorite movies of all time. Yes, that one. I'm sure you do know. Number 1, I would have to say Goodfellas.
Okay.
Number 2, Superman 2. And my third favorite movie would be Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. So, kind of ironic that 2 of my favorite movies are sequels.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
Sequels aren't better than the original.
You know
but
what?
I thought these 2.
What a coincidence.
Those are also my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Next
as well.
question.
Okay, question number 2. Who is your favorite TV or comic book character of all time? My favorite character of all time, that's easy, it's Superman.
Wow.
I love Superman.
Amazing. Once again,
And
folks,
I don't have a
that
problem
is
with him
also
being super
my
powerful or, he's
favorite.
the absolute grandfather of
My
all
favorite.
superheroes.
My
Who
favorite.
started it all, and he's the absolute character, the best of all time. He's the absolute best superhero of all time. So I would say Superman.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you. I agree. No, I agree. Okay. I'm going to interrupt you. Let's get to question number 3 here. If you had a chance to win $1 billion by answering one question correctly, and you got to pick the subject, what subject would you pick? What subject would give you the best chance to win $1 billion? What are you most knowledgeable about? My best subject and my best chance to win that $1 billion would be pro wrestling. I would probably want to answer questions about pro wrestling.
Okay.
Either that, my second one would probably be LeBron James, but I would say pro wrestling. Question number 4. If you were given a time machine for wrestling, would you go to the past or to the future? Woo! The time machine. Well, obviously, since I'm here from the future, I would have to answer that if I had a time machine or a way to travel through time, right, I would probably go to the past. I think most people would. I think we've talked about that on the show before. But this is definitely something I always want to do. I want to come back to the show and be on my own show before it became the huge, gigantic success that it becomes in the future. So it's kind of cool to be here where I first started, and in your little show that you have here before it becomes gigantic and worldwide as it is in my future, my timeline. So yeah, I say I would have to pick the past. Alrighty, okay, well let's move on then to question number 5. If you were given a collection of over 1,000 items that you had to keep and display in your living space forever, and you couldn't sell it, what type of collection would that be?
Okay. I think my collection that I would pick. Yeah, my collection that I would pick would be. I think my collection I would pick would be action figures, toys, vintage or '80s toys, if you will. I know. Obviously, we have that. We have a huge collection. You know. In your living space, you can check it. In my living space, I even have more. So you end up collecting more, if that makes you happy.
In fact, I
It's
can't
grown quite a
disagree because
bit
I have that
since
same
this.
exact collection
And,
actually in my
you'd be
living
pretty
space
shocked
right
if I
now.
were to show you
And I love it.
my
We love
collection
it.
looks
We love
like
it.
now.
Yeah, we love it.
now that I have
It's
real
great.
money.
So
And the show's a success. So
yeah. Okay, great. Well, franchise, thank you very much for joining me here on the Franchise80s podcast, and I will hope to see you next time. You come back as a guest, great. And thank you guys very much for joining us. And please remember to like.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being here, and yeah, I'll see you when you catch up to me in the future. Thank you, folks.